You're an old school fighter, and I always feel like no one ever gives you the respect for the Chad Dawson that you got that one. Is Sergey to you kind of like the old school mentality, that real big fight like you're and all the old guys take on?
Yeah, it's a new age in boxing, kind of based on how the monopoly board is set up with managers and certain promoters and different things like that, and that's fine. I'm all for guys, getting paid more money and maybe taking less risk, because typically it's the other way around. They're taking heavy risk and not getting compensated equally. So, there's a place for that, and then there's a place for guys saying, okay, get the money right, and I fight the best guy out there. So. I'm not saying I'm the toughest guy on the block. I'm just trying to do my part. This is my race, and I'm trying to finish my race and finish it strong. And I'm trying to be great, man. Some people say, "Oh, you're already great," but I don't look at it like that. I have a lot of work to do, because when I'm finished, I want to look back and say, "Man, I didn't waste a day. I didn't squander a fight. I didn't squander a training camp." It's a tough business, man. I've been doing this 22 years. It's a long time. That's a lot of training camps. That's a lot of miles that I've ran. That's a lot. So when you going to a fight like in November, it's not just, I've been groomed for these moments since I've been a kid. So, yeah, we got to go to training camp. Yeah, we have to shift our focus on one guy. But this is what I've been groomed for. This is what I've sacrificed for all my life, to be able to be that guy in that moment. And that's what I'm going to be working toward.
Hey, Andre, congratulations on tonight.
Thank you.
One of the undercard fights tonight featured a local young lady, Raquel.
How did she do?
Could you give us a comment?
She won? Okay, yeah.
Her fight? Can you give us some thoughts about it?
I didn't see it, but I'm so happy she was on the card, though. I think she was a late addition. I'm so happy she was on the card. Number one, for her being, Bay Area native and getting that shine and just getting opportunity. You guys would be shocked, man. It's hard women don't get opportunities like that. And kudos to Rock Nation for giving her the opportunity and giving a female fighter an opportunity like that, because I'm telling you, the women, man, they sacrifice like we sacrifice, and they're fighting for respect, and they just don't get it. And people say there's no market for it, but for somebody like Rock Nation to take a chance on them and say, okay, we're going to create a market, man, that's a blessing. So I was so happy when I heard she was on the card. I'm glad she won, and I'm sure she's going to get more opportunities.
Andre, your performance tonight, your defense really stood out. My peers and I, we cover fights day in and day out, and I know there was a couple of moments where I was sitting next to people and we went, woo!
I was doing that too in my head. You were throwing some stuff at me, boy, I was like, woo!
To avoid the punches, your defense was just masterful, and that whole make them miss, make them pay mentality, your accuracy was just something of greatness tonight. So I have to ask you, when you have that momentum going into the Kovalev fight, do you think that those two things, both your accuracy and your defense, are kind of your edge going into Kovalev? I
don't know if it's an edge, but it's definitely an asset. It's definitely, that's just part of who I am. I feel like I'm not going to give you anything for free. If you hit me, you're going to earn it. That's the way it's got to be. I'm not a punching bag. I got great legs, and I'm going to use them. And I don't run. I'm not a runner, but it's about angles and, just inches. And as you get older, you saw in Floyd's career, like, he moved a lot early. And then he realized I don't have to move like that. I just take a half step back, boom, I hit you, and, that discourages you from throwing punches. And I'm getting into that mode where I don't have to move as much. I move just enough. I do just what I have to do. So I don't know if it's an edge. It's just something that he's going to have to deal with, just like it's things on his side that I got to deal with. And, we got to see. We got two great trainers, and it's going to be a great fight, man. It's the biggest fight in boxing, hands down.
I agree.
A question. After the Sergey fight, you're successful. Is there anybody else you see fighting in a light heavyweight division?
The way my brain works, like, he's the only guy in the division. He's literally the only guy in the division. He's the man. Who else is above him at light heavyweight? So that's a situation where you focus on him, you beat him, and then you sit down and weigh your options with your team and see what's next. You can't juggle both, Yeah.
One question I have for you, Andre, is in your past fights here at Oracle, you've had a great turnout. Rock Nation's done a great job promoting your fight, bringing in the crowd.
Yep.
And you've also had your teammates like Amir Khan, Andre Berto, Peter Plum made the flight out here. how does it feel to represent a diverse sports community like the Bay Area, where we have the Giants, the Niners, the Raiders, the Warriors? How does it feel to represent the Bay Area every time you step into the ring?
Man, it's beautiful because in the Bay Area, I'm probably one of the only things that everybody can agree on. Between the Giants and the A's and the Niners and the Raiders. So I guess maybe the Sharks and the Warriors. Outside of that, you know, everybody's fighting. Everybody's against each other. So it's wonderful, man. I mean, this is like literally, these moments like this, driving to this arena when I fight here and walking in the building, like I'm telling you, like I couldn't explain to you what goes through my head. Like I'm trying to keep myself calm because it's such a surreal moment. Like this is really happening. Like this is what I dreamed about. This is what I always wanted. And to live it out, to see the people come out, the news, you know, websites, all these different people, it's amazing, man. It's hard to explain, but it's tough because I'm still active, so I have to stay in the moment. I can't relish it too much. I can't get too caught up in it, but I'm aware. I talk to my wife about it. I talk to my family and friends about it, man. It's a blessing. It's a blessing.